So I'm going to first turn it over to Darren to do what he does. And if anyone is new to this call, I just want to make sure everyone understands. And for our guests, you understand too, one of the things, since this is an aperitivo, which is a happy hour, we want to make sure that we feature and introduce our audience to a restaurant or a bar that they can also patronize, because not only has the opera suffered during this year, but so have bars and restaurants. And it's important that when we choose to patronize bars and restaurants that, we want to help people out. So Darren does a really good job identifying them. And Darren, why don't you start off and tell us about who we're featuring today?
Thank you, David. Yes, it's Et Voila, which is in North Park, newly discovered by my standards. I just found it, and I absolutely love it. I fell in love with it. I can't recommend it enough. It's at 3015 Adams Avenue, and it is absolutely wonderful. And there is parking nearby on the bridge. It's a little secret for the locals there. We're going to be drinking what's called a Blackberry Smash. It's one of our board members' favorites, evidently. I found out. I thought that was kind of fun. And it is gin, lime juice, sage simple syrup, and blackberry puree. And because we are now at 5:30 and the restaurant is busy, I went ahead and recorded the interview. So Joseph, if we could watch that interview with the owner of Et Voila. Okay, so we are at Et Voila today, which is a beautiful French restaurant, and we have the owner, proprietor, Ludo Mifsud with us today. Welcome.
Thank you for having us.
And let us know exactly where you're located in San Diego.
So we are 3015 Adams Avenue, so right at the corner of 30th Street and Adams Avenue in North Park.
And lots of really nice little restaurants there. And I was there on Sunday, and there were a lot of people around, and there were people parked everywhere, but we parked on the bridge and we had no problem at all.
Thank you for saying that. Yes, there is no issue with parking. Park on the bridge.
Park on the bridge, it's right there. Okay, and you have some wonderful cuisine. It is just got a little bit of a French focus.
It's definitely very French, yeah, with a modern twist. That's that was the pitch of the restaurant. Yes, so we have a wonderful chef who owns the restaurant as well with me, Vincent, who is classically trained and is from Provence as well. And so yes, we are putting a little bit of modern touch in all the classical French cuisine you all love so much. So the coq au vin and all those good stuff, the snails and all of that.
The food I had was absolutely fantastic, I have to tell you. Yeah, and I'm picky about food. I was many years in San Francisco, so I know food, and this is really good.
I appreciate that.
And this is really interesting because it's a gorgeous restaurant. The ambiance is beautiful, the decor, and it's just beautiful. But you have adjusted to COVID in a very interesting way.
We had to, yeah, we had to. It's been a journey. But yes, we had to turn our parking lot, which wasn't very pretty at all to begin with, into a back patio. So that was a fun challenge, and it seems like people like it a lot. And then we had to build a parklet as well in the front. So we took one parking spot on Adams Avenue and had to build a whole deck and make it fun for people to come and have dinner with us outside.
And in the main dining room, you have these incredible screens.
Yes, we went all out. We wanted our customer to feel safe. So we are actually still at 25% capacity. We never went up to 50% like we are legally allowed to now. We have this wonderful screen, and that basically makes you believe like you have your own private dining room in the middle of my dining room. So we've had a wonderful feedback with those. Yes, absolutely. People want us to keep them. Unfortunately, they take a lot of room, and I can't wait to get my table back in there.
Sure. It's interesting, though. You took something that was highly functional and you made it absolutely exquisite.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I like nice things, so that's my problem. I like everything to be nice and perfect. So yes, we definitely did go all out with those.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. And you're doing cocktails. You have a beautiful wine selection. In fact, you have a wine, sort of wine cellar there in the middle of the bar that you walk past when you enter, which is beautiful. You have an incredible cocktail menu as well. And what did you prepare for us today? We're going to have, this is recording, obviously, we're going to do this on Thursday, and we'll toast with this beautiful cocktail. And tell us about this cocktail.
So it's called the Blackberry Smash. It's one of our best seller on our cocktail menu. It's created by our bartender, Missy Burns. And it's a very spring/summery cocktail. So it's food forward. You have the wonderful cucumber infused gin in there, and then with sage. So it's refreshing and it's fun and it's summery. So we like it a lot.
I can't wait to try it. It's beautiful. One of our board members actually emailed me and said, that's what I have when I go there, which was great to hear. But when I was there, of course, I had a lovely glass of rosé, maybe two. And it was incredible. Really a wonderful experience. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for picking us. I appreciate it.
Thank you. And David, back to you.
Very nice, Darren. So I have my smash. So Darren delivered one to me today. So I want to say cheers to everyone here. Cheers to sort of spring into summer and aperitivo. Yeah. So it's my great pleasure to introduce someone that you all just recently saw, but it's our first time to speak with him, Peixin Chen, so who was our just with us in our Barber of Seville. Peixin, so glad to have you with us. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so happy to join you. Yeah, nice to see you again.
Nice to have you back with us virtually in San Diego. So Peixin is currently living in Houston, correct? And that's where you're joining us from today, right?
That's right. Yeah.
Excellent. So
yeah, I'm living in Houston right now. Yeah, because since I joined Houston Grand Opera since 2012, and after that I decided to stay in Houston. Houston became to my home base, so that's why I'm living here right now.
It's a very good home base to have, right?
Yes.
Except for it can be very humid.
Yeah, of course, except the summer.
Right.
Especially, you know, I come from North China, and my hometown is really cold, and in summer is really comfortable, really like San Francisco, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Is a pretty. We don't have air conditioning in my hometown. We don't need it. You know, yeah. In the morning and at night, the temperature during the daytime and nighttime are really different, big difference. So we don't need air conditioning. But you know, I came to Houston, and summer is hell. My gosh.
Very, very true. Every time I've been there in the summer, you know, that you take a shower and you go into an air-conditioned car, but when you get out of your car, you're just soaking wet.
That's right. Yeah, definitely.
Well, so you mentioned the town where you were born, and I think we have a really wonderful opportunity here to listen to your story about your childhood. This is where I start with everyone, but most of our artists that I interview are American singers. And to hear from your culture about your childhood and the role music played. So where were you born? Where are you from?
Actually, I was born in north of China, and then my hometown is Inner Mongolia. The city's name is Ulaanbaatar. Actually, it's a part of the state's name is Ulaanbaatar, but my hometown is small town in Ulaanbaatar is called Hailar, where it's very near to Russia, and only 2 hours drive, and you will get the board go to Russia. So my hometown is kind of like very different than others, because my hometown has Mongolian people. We have many different nationalities. We have Russian nationalities, and we have Mongolian nationalities. So, and also we have other different nationalities. So basically like six nationalities, and they all speak different languages.
Wow.
But in my hometown, my home language is Mandarin.
Yep.
So I grew up in my hometown, so different, like different cultures. Yeah. So my hometown is a little bit different than normal Chinese states or cities. People are very nice because we're north, very cold place, but people are very nice and very friendly.
Yeah.
I think we always say that the cold place make people's inside hot. Warm.
Yeah.
So
Warm on the inside. Yeah.
right, warm inside. So people are really friendly, and they like the guests, people to visit us, and they have meat, drinks, and every time when you join us, and you will get drunk. Otherwise, they will be mad at you. So you don't like it here, and you don't drink a lot. So which means you don't feel comfortable.
Right.
So people like to get drunk and sing together, dance together. So that's kind of my hometown style.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too.
Yeah. So was music a part of your life as a child? Were music around you in any way?
Yeah, actually, my father is like a normal worker. He was like a driver and for a factory. So he doesn't sing, or he doesn't play any instruments. I don't think he could sing well. That's my experience. But my mom was really talented, and she had an opportunity to join to art school. Actually, it's especially for arts teacher school when she was a child. But when she was a child, there was like a special time in China. It's called Red Evolution. Yep. Red Evolution. So my grandfather, my mom's father, was working for some Russian people. So at that moment, it was really sensitive. So the government said my grandfather could be a spy, something like that. So they put him in the jail. So everything in China has to be red background. Yeah. So my mom, when she got the opportunity just to sing on audition for the art school, and she already passed the audition, she was already ready to join the school, but they checked her background. They said, okay, your father is a spy, so you cannot join to the school. So my mom plays flute. And also my mom sings, and she's very talented. So I think my music parts comes from my mom. Wow. But unfortunately, she did not get to like art school forever. And she became to accountant. Oh, wow. So it's a really big difference.
Well, I think there's an art to accounting as well, but
I don't know. So, but my mom was a really good accountant, and so when I joined to the art school, when I started to sing, my mom was really happy. Sure. My mom never thought about that singing could be my career, could become a career one day. My mom never thought about that, but she was happy. Sure. She was really supported me to sing or to do whatever I want to for music. So yeah, she said that to me. She said I kind of like finished her dream. Yes. Yeah.
We have a phrase here where we talk about there's a word that we call vicarious thrill, which means that your happiness is carried out by someone else. And we think of that often happens when the parent can have their vicarious thrill fulfilled through their child, which is really
nice.
That's
right. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So when I was a child, my mom always sang to me a lot of folk song. So I learned a lot of music from my mom when I was a child. Yeah. I think that's how I grew up. Wow. And
so you were admitted into a music art school.
Yeah, I actually I went to the special high school. I mean, it's special. I don't know how to say that in English, but I learned computer. I was a computer guy. So, but when I joined to the school, in the first year, I met my first voice teacher during a party. I sang something, and she said, "Oh boy, you have really good voice. Do you want to learn bel canto singing?" I said, "Yes, but I don't know what is that." So she said, "Okay, I will teach you." And then I start to take lessons from her. Yeah. And after 4 months, and there was an opportunity for audition for the art school. She said, you should to try it. I said, do you think? And she said, yes, I'm very confident. So I went to sing for the principal of the artist, and he was surprised. He said, I like you. I will get you into the school whenever, whatever you want or you don't want. I said, okay. So, and then I joined to the art school. I didn't finish my computer study. So just,
And what age was this? What age? How old were you at this time?
I was 16 years old. Yeah. Oh, before that, I was 15 years old. And then when I joined to school, art school was when I was 16 years old.
So your voice at that point, was it already a low?
No, I was a baritone at that time. Yeah, I was a baritone. I became to a bass when I joined to the Conservatory of Music, 2002. And my voice teacher in the Conservatory of Music, he said, you are not baritone or bass baritone. You are a true bass.
Oh.
I said, well, fine.
You won't have to worry about the high notes so much anymore.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So I said, okay, even better. So
did you even then have the low range? Was it already?
Yeah, my low voice was always good, but I didn't have very high range singing, and my repertoire was really like how can I say that, tight or small? Small, yeah. And didn't have much choices. But my voice teacher was really good. He said, "Don't hurry, you're still young." So when I was in Conservatory of Music, first couple years, I never done any arias from the opera. I have done many art songs like German leaders, and so he said, "Don't hurry, no rush. You just sing naturally. Build up your voice a little by little." And then after 5 years, and when I finished the Conservatory of Music, I had really successful concerts, and and my voice teacher was really proud of me. But my voice has been totally changed since I went to Houston Grand Opera.
Yeah.
Since 2012, I have met Stephen King, who is my voice teacher in Houston, and he changed my voice a lot, and also my repertoire totally different than before. Yeah, totally different.
So to our people that are watching, I've not said this to you, Peixin, yet, but I think that Stephen King is the best voice teacher in the United States. I really do.
I agree.
So when I hear auditions at Santa Fe or Wolf Trap, we hear the young artists, I will, I'm taking notes and I'm listening, and then suddenly if you hear a voice that makes you sit up, and almost always it was a student of Stephen King.
I feel the same way. Yeah.
He makes singers really sing with all of their body and very grounded. The voice is always grounded and very secure, right?
Yep.
And we have I don't know if you know this man, he's in Houston now. His name is Nicholas Newton.
I know him.
Yeah. So he's from San Diego. And he used to live here, and he was a baritone. He went to San Diego State, and now he's moving into a lower voice. And sometimes what happens with young singers is when they develop, the voice opens up on top. But sometimes a lot of Stephen's singers seem to get really settled into the body. So that's what happened with you, which is great.
Yeah, that happened on me. Yes.
So I have an interesting question. So
yes, please.
You mentioned bel canto technique, which is everyone may know the bel canto period, a period of time in Italian composition, but we think of the bel canto technique as a specific way of singing that is what we think of as opera technique. So that's just so our audience understands that.
Yep.
But that is different than, say, the singing technique that is in Peking opera, right? Very different. So, you were surrounded by, probably in your culture, it's the sound of, what do they call it? Jinju, the Peking.
Jinju, yes.
Yeah, the
yes.
Peking
opera.
Chinese opera. Yeah.
Yes.
So were they both around you? Were you aware of Western opera and Chinese opera at the same time?
Yeah, when I was in China, even I heard a lot. Even I was not really like wanted to hear it, but it's always come into my ear because it's a culture. Just as you mentioned, everywhere. So on the TV or show on stage. I think I had a conversation with my voice teacher when I was in Conservatory of Music. He told me that some really good Peking opera singer, they do have opera technique, like breath support.
Yes.
The high positions for the high notes, round and right. And some good singers, they do have technique like that. But because of the cultures, like music style, different languages, so they have their own own way, their own technique to sing it. It's to me, it's different than opera singer. But they also a lot of good voices, and you can hear very, very beautiful voices, and just different style.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, and I hope everyone would have a chance, if you're not familiar with Chinese opera, to just
I highly recommend it.
Yeah. So you have a chance to hear it and see it because it's very visually fascinating. I think. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're going to listen to video 1, and then we'll come back and talk about your transition to the United States. Okay. So how do we do it? So, Okay. So this is a sort of a long video, but this is from Vesperi Siciliani. So and you were young in this video. And it's not, I will say it's not the best quality of video, but it captures you as a singer, as a young singer, very well. So Joseph, let's listen to the first selection.
Oh, thank you.
So,
oh my gosh, time flies.
What year was that?
That was 2011,
and
10 years ago.
And where was that?
That was in San Francisco. Actually, that's a Marilla program of 2011, and that concert was the final concerts every year, every summer after the program, and they always have a final concert. So that what it is it.
So so I just want everyone to hear that, when we think about bel canto singing, there are certain things we think about, and those beautiful long lines that he has, which is just gorgeous, and the way you string all the notes together. And there are dotted rhythms in there, which for everyone means that it's not 1 and 2, and it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And when you're doing that, you sometimes don't have the same kind of momentum on the small notes, unless you're a really good singer, and you are. So you have the same kind of spin on the little notes that you have on the big notes. So bravo.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that was really fun. Oh my gosh, it's bringing me back to 2011. I had really good time.
So let's talk about how you got from, where conservatory was in Beijing, correct?
Yes, was in Beijing. Yes.
So how you got from Beijing to San Francisco, and did Francesco Zambalo have a hand in that? Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
That was a long story. Not quite long. Actually, I have met Francesca Zambello since 2009, and because she was directing Carmen production in Beijing opera company called Central Performing of NCPA and National NCPA. National Central Performing of Arts. So it's a new opera company in Beijing. We always call it egg. I don't know if you know that, maybe you don't know. Yeah. It looks like egg. Yeah. But she was a director of Carmen. So I was Zuniga at that time. So after rehearsal, actually, after maybe a few weeks, couple weeks, and she came to me, she said, hey boy, you have a really good voice. I want to hear more. Why don't you sing some arias to me? And I said, okay. But I was not serious. But I thought she was just trying to be nice to me. So I never really serious to think about that. And after a week, since then, and she came to me again, she became like a little bit more serious. She said, Peixin, I was not joking. I'm waiting for you. I want to hear more. And when I can hear you. And I said, okay, maybe tomorrow. And she said, fine, we find time tomorrow. So I called my friend who was a pianist and came to the theater, and next day, and she played for me, and I have sound like a few arias to her. And after that, she said, Peixin, you are the only one have international voice on this stage. Do you want to come to America for study? I said, yes, I want to, but I don't have money. She said, don't worry about that. I will help you. So after the performance, and when she back to San Francisco, and she recommended me to audition for Marilla program. So I came to America. I mean, I came to New York 2011. Not speak. I had 3 times for audition for Marilla program, and then they bring me in the program. So I went to San Francisco 2011 summer for Marilla program, 9 weeks.
That's fantastic. So,
yeah.
I think everyone on this call knows about the Marilla program. It's San Francisco Opera, and it's a professional training program. But you may not know about Francesca Zambalo. You may. She's a world-renowned opera director, but is the general director at Glimmerglass Opera in upstate New York, and is also, I don't know what her role is, her title is now, but artistic director head of the artistic program at Washington National Opera. So she's very involved in running opera companies and training young artists. Both Washington and Glimmerglass have young artist training programs, but Maryland is one that is really makes people take the quick transition to a professional career. And she was smart to have you go there instead of Washington National Opera, right? Because she saw the future in you, which is great.
Yeah, she was great. And after that, she gave me a contract 2014 to sing Dulcamara at Washington National Opera. I had 2 performances, covered 5. Yeah. That was a big contract for a student member. Yeah, that time.
That's amazing. So
she was really, really like to bring me into this career. Yeah.
And have you lived in the United States since that time? Since you came to San Francisco, have you?
Yes, I moved. No, after that, actually, after Maryland program and Patrick Summers and the Houston Grand Opera invited me come to Houston for the competition. Was the concert of aria?
Yes.
And 2012. Yeah, so I got my 3rd prize, and they just give me the contracts for studio. Wow. So I was a student member of Houston Grand Opera for 3 years, from 2012 to 2015.
So you came from Beijing, spent 2 years in San Francisco, 3 years in Houston. Is that right?
No. I came to Beijing and to San Francisco in weeks, and came to Houston for 3 years.
Oh, okay. So Maryland was short period, right? Just the summer.
No, I did. Yeah, short period, 9 weeks. Yeah. And this, from then I met Patrick Summers. Yeah.
So we're going to listen to another video in just a moment, and it's short, but Houston, you moved there then, and through the Houston studio, which you became a member of, correct? You joined the Houston studio.
Yes.
That's where you met Stephen King, who is your current teacher. Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
So Stephen, again, I mentioned, I think he's the best voice teacher. He teaches at the Houston Opera Studio and also Rice University in Houston. And how many years were you a part of the studio in Houston? How long were you there?
3 years. 3 years. So, from 2012 to 2015. Yeah.
Why don't we, Joey, why don't we listen to the second clip, which is a short clip of you when you were singing the concert at the Concert of Arias in Houston, where you won 3rd prize. And this is a portion of the aria from La Cenerentola. So this is Rossini. Now, the first aria that we heard, the Verdi, was very beautiful, long legato lines, and we're going to get to hear you sing fast. So, so let's listen to that, Joey.
E diceva campanile come il trono si fermò, e diceva campanile come il trono si fermò. Si sentiano per di sotto le campane stintonar, tinto, 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 tinton. Col cicciucciutti potto mi faceste risvegliar, col cicciucciutti potto mi faceste risvegliar, col cicciucciutti potto mi faceste risvegliar, col cicciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucciucci testa di sveglia, codici, 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 mi fa testa, mi fa testa, mi fa testa di svegliar, mi fa testa di svegliar, mi fa testa di svegliar, mi fa testa di svegliar.
I wish we had the chance to hear the whole aria, because that's such a good role for you.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, I have done that. I have done that once. Yes.
So one thing that I'm sort of I found remarkable in that, and also in your portrayal here is you're very funny. Like you enjoy being funny, obviously, right? You enjoy the comedy, yeah?
Yeah, I like to be funny. Yes, I like it.
We can see that in your
I
personality.
have done some like thank you. I have done some like a very funny roles, like Buffo, like Buffo roles, and some Rossini's, like Donizetti. Yeah, I like to be funny on stage, and I enjoyed it. I think that, yeah, you're right. Maybe because of my personality, I like to smiling. And you know, I want to tell you guys a funny thing. I got my two teeth implants, two implants, and after when I came back to Houston after San Diego, but for the small procedure, and doctor put me to sleep. So when after the procedure, and I woke up, they woke me up, and I start to sing in the office, and doctor and nurses, they were laughing. I was singing. I just could not stop. I was singing, and then my wife just took me downstairs and put me in the car and bring me home. But yesterday I went to see the doctor for just check up, and he was laughing. He said, "Peixin, you know what? You know, you woke up during the procedure, and then you start to sing. I had to give you more medication to put you to sleep, and then I could finish the procedure. After that, when I woke you up and you start to sing again." I didn't know how, I didn't know why. I was just singing and over.
That's
so
so
he was laughing. I told him that I'm sorry. He said, no. We were really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I think they probably have never had an experience where a patient woke up singing, so that's a good thing. Yeah.
You know, when I went to see the doctor, I have done like I was singing Escamillo's aria.
Yeah.
That's not my part.
Yeah.
And I also
You're a Taniga, right?
done
Yeah.
like I was singing Figaro's part, and the doctor was joking with me, and he said that when he sent me out of the office, he opened the door a little bit. He said, "Figaro," and then I turned to him and started to sing again.
So
I didn't know. I did.
So the lesson here is if they give you gas to put you out, then you become a baritone again.
Yeah.
Maybe, right?
I don't know. I had no idea, but I was laughing.
I wish we
seems like
I wish we could see a recording of that. That would have been very funny. So let's talk a little bit about the past year, which has been very difficult for everyone. And did you have a lot of work that just disappeared? I'm sure, right?
Yeah. I had a lot of work, and the most important is that a lot of Europe contracts being cancelled, which should my debut in Madrid, in London, in Paris, and all being cancelled. So yeah, my manager was really upset. I was upset too. But I believe that the world will back to normal soon, and we just started again. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So I think you know, you were like many of the singers that we work with here in San Diego that the career is just starting to really emerge. And in some ways, I found the past year more difficult or more sort of heartbreaking for you than more experienced singers, because like the excitement of your career emerging was right in front of you.
Yeah.
And it sort of just got stopped. But I'm sure there's plenty of things that are coming up for you, I hope, right? You have
I hope so too. Yeah.
And you, I know you've sung at the Met. You were a Zarastro at the Met, correct?
Yep.
Do you have any Met contracts coming up that we can know about?
Yeah, I have done Mazzetto also of Don Giovanni, and the coming contracts is this summer. I'm going to cover a role of Boris Godunov And at the end of this year, I will have Magic Flute again. And I will work with Patrick again, Patrick Carfizzi. I will sing Zarastro, and he will be the speaker. So we will work together again. Wow. And 2000. Oh, I should not say that because it's not published yet.
everyone, keep that quiet.
Oh yeah, and I have just signed Turandot contracts of the Mads. Yeah. But I'm not going to tell you which year.
So were you will it be Timur?
Yes, Timur.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you.
So so I want to let our audience know that we had planned to do next season a Magic Flute here, and Peixin was going to be our Sarastro, and Patrick Carfizzi was not going to, he was actually going to be Papageno, which is so great for his personality, which he's sung before. He's a lower voice than some people think of as Papageno, but he's so funny. But we have to postpone that. So unfortunately, it's not happening next year. But Peixin will definitely be back for us. But I'm so glad to hear you singing Timur. That's great.
Thank you. Yeah. Next year, I will sing Timur at Houston and Grand Opera first.
Fantastic.
And then the Mats. Yeah.
So if you guys remember that Timur has the most, maybe you remember in Turandot, he has some very, very beautiful singing, I think.
Mm-hmm. And also sadness.
And it's like Liu. There's these moments of the most beautiful music sort of happen with Timur and Liu. So
when Liu passed away and Timur just break his heart. Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear that things are headed in the right direction. Let's talk a little bit about your experience here in San Diego doing the drive-in opera. It was different, right?
Yes, totally. And that was my first time, actually.
Yeah.
And I was enjoying it.
So tell us a little bit about, I think our audience knows it, but like even the rehearsal process, how different it was than normal, because everything was outdoors and
first thing was that the first hard thing was that keep social distance. For opera singers, it's really, really hard to do it, especially like some opera like Barbieri. It's different than Magic Flute, because Magic Flute, you could stay there and just singing. And everyone has their own area and you can sing without each other at all. Yeah. But for Barb, you have a lots of like duets or, trio or, quartets, and you have to play with each other. Yeah. That's the most hard thing for us. Also, I think for Cultura, because, COVID-19 situation, so we had to keep the social distance. We have to always think about the social distance, but you have to think about the story also. What are you singing? What are you doing? What are you playing? So it's hard and to communicate with the others. So that was a hard part. But I was really happy we made it. And we made it beautifully. So, and I think that's the most hard for us. And the second experience was not hard, but it was just fine. When I had some like outdoor theater experience and like singing outdoor and with Mag. It doesn't matter. But San Diego was like pretty cold, and the wind came in at night, especially when we was singing and in front, the wind just came into my mouth, and that was really funny. I was almost laughing on stage. I said, "Oh, that's funny." And so that was a pretty fun experience. And but we again, I was really happy we made it together and beautifully. So, and all of singers and colleagues, they are very, very nice. We just work together and make each other comfortable. We try to solve problems together and like the stagings. So we enjoyed it also. Yeah.
So Joan Foster, who's on the call, who's our director of production, just put a note in the chat about how great you were on stage, but also so lovely backstage. And actually, you probably need to know this, that the general director hears about who everybody really loves. Like in terms of the staff will say, oh my gosh, he's so easy to work with and he's so nice. And so I heard that about you from the very first day, like your interaction with everybody, about how kind you were and what a great colleague. And for me, the singing is paramount, of course, but if you're not a good person to work with, it just makes the whole process difficult, right? So that makes me really, really, really want to have you back more. The combination of all of that.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
And inside of a theater, not outside where you have to deal with.
Oh yeah.
Wind.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm so looking forward. Yeah, definitely.
So I have one more recording. This is not video, but it's recording. But I just wanted to make sure that we had a chance to listen to this, and I got to make sure I'm looking at what. Yeah, this is from Lohengrin. And it's with piano, but it's just, I wanted people again to just like listen to the beauty of your voice. This is very beautiful. And also the beautiful line that you sing with. And also the way that you go open, easy at the top to a really low extension in this aria. So I find this very beautiful. So let's just listen to this. That is so beautiful. It's really,
thank you so much. Yeah.
When did you record that?
Oh, that was 6 years ago.
Wow.
Actually, Bill, my manager, just called me yesterday, the day before yesterday. Yes, the day before yesterday. We were discussing about the next season. And also he said, Peixin, I want you to make some new recordings because those recordings are too old.
but what I love about that is it shows the arc of your range, which is substantial, and it also shows the beauty of line in your voice. It's so yeah. It's an old recording, but it's it shows some of your real talent, I think. So
Yeah, I was just remember that time. So
so
yeah.
I have to say this. We had a very long relationship here in San Diego with Ferruccio Fulanetto. You know, he said,
Oh, my favorite.
yeah, well, you have a lot of Ferruccio in you, I think.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a
Yeah,
fan of him.
he sang a lot here, and before my time, unfortunately. But you know, maybe we can turn you into our next San Diego Ferruccio. So,
Oh, thank you so much. That means a lot.
yeah.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, he's my favorite opera singer. Yeah,
Well,
I love him.
if that's the sound you have in your ear that you want to be, I can see that in your voice. So
Yeah, I have never met him in person, but I watch a lot of his performance and videos, and yeah, also at Matt, I watch him.
So do you know the Don Quixote music of Massenet? You know, the aria Don Quixote. He sang Don Quixote here. I don't know, several times. And,
oh my goodness!
Yeah, and the music in that would be beautiful for you as well.
I know. Yeah. Oh my goodness.
So
yeah.
We have time for just a couple of questions, and I think we have a couple in the chat.
Yes.
So one is, how many operas or do you normally prepare and sing in like a pre-COVID year? How many operas, particular operas?
How many operas?
Yeah, like let's say pre-COVID, because you were just getting ready to move into a bigger career professionally. So during the year that was canceled, how many different operas were you meant to perform that year?
Yeah, let me think about that. Maybe 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Mahagoni, Magic Flute, and Don Pasquale, and Aida,
Yeah.
and there is another one. I just don't remember. Oh, Electra.
Yeah.
So
the Mahagoni Songspiel?
Five different operas.
Mahagoni Songspiel or the big Mahagoni?
No, the Riz up and yeah, down and Riz and down the city of Mahagoni.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it was supposed to my house debut of Dutch National Opera.
Wow.
Just before dress rehearsal, it had been canceled.
Ah. Wow.
We already finished all of the rehearsal, but we were ready on stage, and before dress rehearsal, it had been canceled. Yeah.
Wow. So
yep.
One other question: what composers or operas titles do you like to sing the most?
Oh, that's a good question. Most. That's a really hard question to answer, and I like Verdi. Verdi probably number 1.
Yep.
And I like Wagner also.
Ah, good.
Half step.
Yeah.
I like Mozart also.
Yeah.
So maybe same as Wagner.
So you will have a lot of opportunities to sing both Verdi and Wagner in your career, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish.
Yeah, it will happen. So, all right, we're almost done with out of time. Any other questions that we haven't been able to address? I'm just looking around the crowd. If you have a question, please feel free to raise your hand. Otherwise, we will end. And I want to say a big thank you to Peixin. And we're so happy to have you with us in San Diego. And I can't wait to have you back and have a great time. Stay cool.
Thank you.
Stay near your air conditioner.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah.
All right.
My honor to join the meeting, and I really enjoyed. Thank you, David, and thank you, everyone. And I wish you guys a good day, rest of the day.
Thanks, Peixin.
Okay. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Bye.